Hi, this is Jack, Richa, and Joe with the national team in the apricot industry, here giving our final presentation. I'll start by passing it off to Joe, who will tell us about our performance over the semester.
National Sonites finished firmly in second place, but well behind our major competitor, Legend. After industry-leading performance during rounds 1 and 2, National Sonite's share price index lagged during period 3. We had an increase in period 4, but not sharply enough to overtake Legend. SPI again declined during periods 5 through 7 as our attention and resources were focused on launching new products into the marketplace in an effort to increase revenue and keep pace with Legend. Revenue and share price rebounded during the last period after abandoning Naughty and ending our efforts to gain market share within the shoppers and savers segments. Performance by brand was variable, with our flagship Nova being responsible for the majority of revenue through all 8 periods and was the third highest selling Sonite by sales and volume. Another, which was just another Nova, was launched in period 5 to capitalize on Nova's success. Our mid-range Sonite product, Noon, faced strong downward competitive pressure, particularly from Legend products. Decline in market share for Noon continued despite product modifications that improved design, power, and battery life at competitive pricing. Naughty, the lowest priced Sonite in the industry, but with modest features and performance, was developed and marketed for the shoppers and savers segments. It was sold predominantly through mass merchandising channels. Naughty sales remained low with a negative contribution margin despite aggressive pricing and investment of considerable marketing resources. It was withdrawn from the market during period 6 as we focused on revenue and share price in order to keep pace with Legend. Performance by segment was notable for dominance in the high earner segment. This was consistent with National's highly successful strategy to target this segment with the full-featured high-performance product Nova. Nova's characteristics met or exceeded the ideal values for this segment in every category. Nova was similarly an ideal match for the professional segment. The professional segment, however, was not allocated as many resources due to forecasted limited growth in this category, and this is reflected in our performance in this category. Our performance among shoppers and savers was unsatisfactory despite a high-quality mid-range product, Noon, and Naughty, a product designed and marketed specifically for the price-sensitive buyer. Naughty failed to pick up sales despite aggressive pricing. Explorers were specifically avoided due to the persistently negative forecast for growth in this category.
Okay, now we get into some of the marketing lessons that we've learned from this exercise, the simulation. The first slide is about segmentation and targeting. The key to success is really targeting the right segment. Based in the society, you have different segments of customers based on demographics like age, race, income level, requirements of products, and etc. In our case, for the Sonite market, we have different segments based on mainly 2 main criteria, one being the income level and the second being the preference for the product. Preference would be like display, convenience, power, technology. Ideal segment is the one that is profitable and has large value and is predictable. In our case, our product Nova was targeted to the high earners segment because the features of the Nova product suited that segment in terms of display, convenience, technology, etc. And because of this, Nova gave us high, consistent performance in the high earner segment with a market share of nearly 68% in period 8 and a revenue of nearly 55 million. Moving on. Product. the important thing about product is the features, pricing, margin is very important for successful marketing. But more important than that, we realized, is also the products, the features, and the prices of our competitors and the products they have in the same segment that we are targeting. It is very important to have the product features aligned with the requirements of that segment. For example, again, going back to our Nova product, which was high in quality and performance, because the customers in this segment could afford to pay high prices and demanded the quality and convenience and technology required of Nova. It also helps in the market to have a superior quality product, and by that we mean if we have several competitive products in a segment, it's always better to have higher features or higher superior quality when compared to the competitors in that segment. Also, with our experience, new products and modifications to existing products is risky and uncertain. Noddy, which we I think started in period 3. It was priced at $173, aimed at the saver segment. It was a cheap product, but it did not do really well. And at the end of it all, maybe it's because the pricing and cost ratio was not good, and it didn't work in our favor. So basically, we understand that the product has to be superior, and that will help with the marketing strategies.
There are 5 major pricing objectives: survival, maximize profit, maximize market share, maximize market skimming, and product quality leadership. Most of these were used in our simulation. Noddy, our lowest price sonite, was priced initially to capture market share within the shoppers and savers segments. Nova pricing remained high to maximize profit and to demonstrate our product quality leadership. Another, which was just another Nova, was priced for market skimming within the high earners segment. Noon pricing was reduced to increase market share.
Place is all about distribution channels. And this is important because you could have the right product, the right quantity, but if the place and the way of distributing is wrong, the product doesn't get to the customer and you lose out in the marketing and profit. Customer and segment, the segments that we have in the society, they are very habit specific. So for example, for our Nova product, we targeted Nova to the high earner segment, and they have a habit, since they don't mind paying, they prefer to buy from specialty stores. In the sonite market, we have 3 separate distribution channels: mass merchandise, online, and specialty stores. Because Nova was a high-end brand, we decided to target mostly in the specialty market, and that worked well for us. It is also important to analyze all the distribution channels and split it, not evenly, but based on the habits, split it accordingly to the different distribution channels. There are mainly 3 different types of distributions. We have intensive, selective, and exclusive distribution channels. Intensive is more about mass merchandise and online, where it goes out to the masses. Selective is a few or very select. For example, Nova again was targeted towards specialty store, and we opted for the selective distribution there. Each of these distribution channel again comes with a cost associated. It also reaches out to different distributors, different number of distributors, and all this has to be analyzed as we decide the place and the distribution channels in our marketing strategy.
So promotion became a key component early on in building the success of our products and overall brand. It became evident that having a sufficient advertising spend and targeting the correct demographics and segments was integral to the success and growth of our products. Spending should adjust to the growth and decline of a product. An example, our product line Noddy, the advertising budget was not needed and decreased significantly and during the decline phase. On the flip side, our successful flagship product Nova A large part of that brand success can be contributed to brand awareness stimulated by advertising. Now moving on to lessons learned, here are a few of our success factors. Well-designed and targeted products. Our initial product design and features ratio, as well as our subsequent modifications, were intelligently executed. Competitors' product design specifications, costs, and retail prices were all factors carefully weighed when determining the specifications of our own products. Consumer demand, key to our targeted segments, were also important considered factors. As a result, National consistently offered products with attractive design and options of features at attractive prices compared to our competitors. Furthermore, our ratio of production costs to retail price facilitated healthy profits. Well-executed production and inventory management. While occasional miscalculations were made when determining expansion and restriction for each brand, overall management of inventory and production was well executed. Surpluses were dealt with efficiently, and potential demand was thoughtfully calculated. Strong brand awareness for our primary product. Nova, our signature product, targeted the high earners market segment, had consistently strong brand awareness, particularly within its targeted segments. Responsible in part for Nova's strong percentage of market share and brand awareness. Healthy growth, minimal losses, consistent industry leader. National consistently maintained a healthy industry position, initially leading our industry in terms of share price with a healthy market share, and eventually falling and maintaining a second-place industry position. While the marketplace was eventually dominated by competitor logic, National consistently turned profits, maintained healthy share price and industry position. Now moving on to reflection and thinking about what we could have done a bit differently. Decreased number of lost sales due to inadequate supply. Although it has been mentioned that in general inventory and production were efficiently maintained, we closed out a number of periods with notable missed sales opportunities. Had we properly accounted for increased demand and subsequently produced adequate supply, revenues, market share, and market value would have most likely increased. Management and implementation of additional brands. In addition to our primary products, Nova and Noon, we opted with good reason to launch several additional brands. We launched Naughty in Period 4 as our first additional product offering. While attractively targeted to the saver segment, previously established competitor products dominated the saver segment and our product was relatively unsuccessful. Another was our final additional product offering. Like our flagship product, Nova, Another targeted the high earner segment with the intention being to capitalize off of the success of Nova. While Another experienced marginal growth, the product never became a major factor in the marketplace or for National. Increased focus on advertising, particularly for new products. While National implemented advertising strategy and allocated significant portions of budget toward advertising, more emphasis placed on advertising during the launch of new products may have helped increase initial brand awareness, perception, and subsequently market share. Further pushes with advertising may have inhibited growth experienced by competitors. Strategic planning with regards to competitors. While National maintained healthy share prices and a strong signature product offering, in retrospect, further consideration could have been taken in order to target and garner market share away from our primary competitor. National initially led the industry, however, Legend eventually dominated the marketplace with a closing share price approximately 7 times the industry average and roughly 3.5 times that of National's. Although National consistently maintained first place and then second place industry positions in terms of share price, greater efforts could have been made to garner some of Legend's market share. An example, structuring additional National brands early on to compete directly with Legend products' primary segments may have garnered some of the competitors' market share. In summary, we feel we finished strong in second place with an overall growth of 44% this semester. Our greatest success, we believe, was marketing to the higher earner segment, capturing 70% market share, and we believe our biggest failure was late entry into targeting the saver segment, which we were not capable of fully capitalizing off of as a result. So I believe on that note, that concludes our presentation, and thank you for a wonderful semester.